You're listening to Speaking Stellar Girl with Terry Tkachuk, an interview series that inspires women to live their most stellar life. Terry is the co-founder of the Stellar Girl movement, and she is sitting down with women all over the world to hear about the key moments in their lives and how they live boldly, compassionately, and ultimately became a stellar girl.
Welcome to Speaking Stellar Girl. I'm your host, Terry Tkachuk, and I'm thrilled today to have Ashley Lobo joining me. Ashley is the Senior Director of Matchmaking at Selective Search, North America's leading luxury matchmaking firm. Ashley has over a decade of finding lasting love and relationships for her clients. She is an expert on dating and matchmaking, and I cannot wait to hear about all of her advice and expertise on how to find love in all the right places and all the right spaces. Welcome to Speaking Stellar Girl, Ashley. I'm so glad you're here with us today.
Well, I am thrilled to be here, and thank you so much for having me.
You are so welcome. Okay, so we're going to get right to it. So you've been in this space, in the matchmaking space, for over a decade.
Yes. So actually this month is actually my 15-year anniversary working as a matchmaker with Selective Search. And as a company, we just celebrated our 21st anniversary. So we are definitely one of the longest top companies that do matchmaking that are even in this space.
Absolutely.
Right. It's such a different world to kind of even be in.
It is, because I mean, most people you see on their phones, on their apps, going through, I don't even know what they're all called, Bumbles, Tumbles. I don't even
I know.
Match.com, eHarmony. I don't even know how many there are out there, but that is not what Selective Search does. They are completely the opposite, you guys. So I'm going to ask you, I'm not going to give away the little that I know. So I'm going to take it directly from you. How does Selective Search work?
Right. So exactly like you said, we're not online. So you're not going to swipe. Other people can't see your profile. Everything is extremely confidential. So I think women especially find a lot of peace of mind in that because, right, you can meet someone online. You don't know if they really are who they say they are. If their pictures are current, you might get a surprise when you show up to the date. Time and waste of makeup and everything else that goes into that. At Selective Search, we are completely offline in the sense that you would work one-on-one with a matchmaker.
Okay.
So you do have to go online to our website, which is selectivesearch.com, and you would register a profile, which is probably very similar to what you would do with other, online dating sites. But what makes us so unique is that after you register, matchmakers, and we're an all-female office, we will take a look at your profile and say, hey, are we working with any clients that look like they're a good fit for, Kelly? Here's who she is, here's what she's looking for. So we all sort of put our heads together and say, you know what, I have the perfect client.
Yep.
And so the next step would be for me to call this person and say, hey, this is Ashley from Selective Search. We're super excited. We have a potential match in mind for you. Let's set up a Zoom. We want to get to know you and everything about you, right? Because there's only so much that you can learn about someone from a profile.
Sure.
Like you can check all the boxes, the right height, the right, pedigree of education, if you're divorced or never been married. But until you're sort of in front of that person, getting a sense of their personality, how they were raised, what their relationships like with their parents, we really get in depth with everyone that we screen for our matches.
And you do background checks as well.
Yes, we do our own background checks on everyone to verify that they are who they say they are. We'll check your ID. Don't be, alarmed by that, but we want to make sure, that you're telling us the correct age and who you are and things like that, which are all the things, right, that you want if you're looking for a true partner.
Correct.
So make sure that we cross, all of our T's and dot our I's and our due diligence for every single match that we do. So at the end of our, in-person virtual meeting,
this is with the candidate or the client, your Zoom?
Both.
Okay.
We do with both. So if there's a candidate that registers and we think we have a match for her or him, we'll do the in-person interview. And then we can learn more about, their deal breakers, what really matters most to them in a match. And then we can figure out, okay, is the person I had in mind a good fit? Or after learning more about her, is it maybe she won't be that excited about my client? But the good thing is that once we meet you, we can keep you top of mind for anyone that we're working with here on out. So it's really great that it's custom and individualized, and you're not just a person in a database.
Correct. So even though you guys are based in Chicago in the Midwest, you guys have candidates and clients from all over North America.
Yes, we work nationwide, and sort of the cool thing and kind of the silver lining about the pandemic is that people now can kind of work from anywhere. So
Yes.
a lot of people are more open-minded to long distance love, and we've seen a lot of people find love long distance and open to doing Zooms or FaceTimes for a first
Yeah.
date, which normally, I mean, in the past that didn't happen as often, and now it does. So it's kind of exciting. So
Yeah.
it really just opens up a whole new world, of people that may not be in your specific, town where you live. If you live in a small town, or maybe you live in a big city and you're like, I want to get out of a big city and I want to move to a smaller town, more peaceful place. So, we have a little bit of everything for everyone. So it doesn't matter where you live, it doesn't matter how old you are, there's really something for everyone.
So the clients that would like to become, be in your database. So they come to you and they said, okay, I'm what type of demographic are you looking at here? You mentioned just a sentence ago, it's all ages, it's all genders. So, but what is your core group of candidates? Sorry, clients.
Oh, clients, yes. So when we started about 20 years ago, I'd say the majority of our clients were men.
Okay.
And it ranges, really the youngest client I've ever had was in their 20s.
Yep.
And the oldest I've had was, pushing almost 90. So
Oh,
really
it's never
people,
too late. It isn't. It's never too late.
find, yeah, your encore love at all. So really I've seen everything. I would say the median age is probably like 40s to 50s for the majority of our clients.
Mhm.
And they're all very successful living their best lives, and so we're sort of doing all the extra hard work behind the scenes to make sure that if they're going to go out on a date, that it's going to be with someone that is lined up to be stellar and everything
Yeah.
that they're looking for, right? Because you don't want to waste your time when you're a busy professional or a busy single mom with someone that just completely isn't what you're looking for, and not have your expectations met by maybe a false dating profile or
And
anything
there's a
like
lot of that out there.
that.
I watched a movie over the holidays that was, it was all about this dating app that, wasn't the person that they thought it was. And it's comical, but it's also, I mean, you take the hurt and the work out of it by doing it with selective search. I mean, you take, all of these pieces and all of these personalities and you mold them into love. And so I guess there will always, no one's perfect and nothing's perfect. So there may have been some blunders along the way. People didn't work out, but I was looking and you guys are like 80% or 85% love
Yes.
matching.
Yes, usually by someone's third introduction, they're in a serious relationship with us. So it's 87%. So it is, everything that we do is extremely tailored. So when someone signs up, we create this document that's called Benchmarks for Success.
Okay.
So it will outline everything about the person that they're looking for, from hair color, eye color, their religious background, if they want kids, they don't want kids, literally everything about them. So that's what we use to search. And so we have to follow all of that criteria, and by
Oh, you're frozen.
getting so close to exactly what you're looking for, that then the rest is up to you and what you bring, to the table, to the date, and chemistry, which no one can predict, but
No.
everything else is lined up, and the rest is left to fate.
Would you say that it's like hundreds of true love stories or like way more than that?
I would say it's way more than that. I mean, we have been around for so long.
Mhm.
We are the experts in our field. So, if someone is really, truly ready for love and looking for love, there's no problem in finding that. It's really an incredible and beautiful thing. And it's such an exciting job to have,
It
when it comes
is.
out and you hear those success stories.
It's like this feel good job, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
it
And
must bring you so much joy to hear like, oh my gosh, like they're going on their eighth date. They're looking at maybe taking a trip together. And then a year later they get engaged and then they're getting like, do you ever get to go to their weddings?
Yes, we've definitely been invited. I had a wedding over the pandemic, so was able to attend virtually, which was so exciting and so heartwarming. And to sort of hear my little shout out in her vows, even I was tearing up.
Oh,
My husband's like, "Are you crying over a Zoom wedding?" I was like, "Yes, this is my clients, and they just gave me like a shout out."
well, you just brought the most beautiful thing that everyone's looking for is love. And that's
Yeah.
an amazing quality that you have. Like that is stellar. It's beautiful. It's inspiring. Did you and your husband meet through Selective
No,
Search? No.
we did not, but I did meet him when I first started working with the company, and I met him through a friend. So while it wasn't a selective search introduction, it was through a friend, and I almost think that those are, always the best because you sort of know, okay, this person has been vouched for. They are who they say they are, and there's, a good vote of confidence behind this
Yes.
potential date. And so,
And
yeah, that's how I met him through a friend.
and now you're, I mean, happily married, you have kids, I mean, you can work remotely, you can do all of this online. Like you said, Zoom, you can be anywhere and bring people together from, so you deal with people in Canada,
Mhm.
Mexico, Puerto Rico, like you're,
Yes, we're nationwide and we do a lot of international searches as well.
oh,
And some of our
wow.
clients, they might travel to London frequently for work. So then we'll open up the search to, other markets. So everything that we do for our clients is completely personalized for their life and, where they are. So it doesn't really matter where you are or what you do. We'll customize something that works for them.
I love that you love your job. I mean, because so many people get stuck in their rut or they're doing something that they don't love to do. And at Stellar Girl, that's what we talk about all the time. Like, to live out your best life, aspire to live out your best life, like do what you love to do and have fun while doing it, because the fun is lost
Mhm.
in work. Especially they look at it as like they're just, getting a paycheck or something like that, but that is not what it is with a selective search or with your job.
That's right. No, it's very rewarding and I get to meet so many different people and hear their story and how they got to be where they are and help them on such a personal level of, introducing them to the one and sort of becoming a part of their family, hopefully in the future to, get those updates, we got engaged or we just got married and here's a picture of our baby. We just had a baby. So it's
That's
super
awesome.
exciting and really rewarding. And I've made so many lasting friendships, even with clients that I've had early on in my career. You just get to work with someone on such a personal level that, you build that friendship and rapport that's kind of just everlasting.
Absolutely. So let's seek out your advice. Okay. So because you are an expert, obviously almost, well, your 15-year anniversary, bringing people together from all over the world, that is super exciting. Like when you're creating, if someone's, with all the women that are listening right now, if you're creating your online profile, what are some do's and don'ts?
Yes. Well, first, I would absolutely keep an open mind. Like you might have this idea of what you think is the perfect man, right? That he has to be 6'2" and he has to have brown hair and blue eyes and, maybe a certain age. But I would challenge you just to keep the box a little bit bigger, just because sometimes you may not even know what you're looking for and you might be getting yourself into like a bad habit of going after the same type of guy that's just not working. So I think as long as you keep an open heart and an open mind and sort of let experts say, like, hey, I have this amazing guy. He might be 2 years older than your preferred age range. And maybe he, is XYZ, to just say, okay, I want to hear about this person and just see in person if you have that spark and that chemistry, because sometimes those little boxes that you check all fade away
Mhm.
once you meet someone and if they, you just click with them.
What's something on a profile that you would say do not put on there?
Hmm. That you have 10 cats. No.
Yeah.
If you have 10 cats, that's okay. But um
Is it though? Is it?
no, probably not. I think most men don't want a cat lady. But I mean, I think with our profile, you can be super honest and let us know exactly what you're looking for because no one is ever going to read that profile that you put in our system besides the matchmakers. So if we do decide that, we do have a match for you, we create a detailed biography on you after we interview you. So
Okay.
we will highlight, all of your strengths and everything that you bring to the table, and share all of, the amazing things that make you you with our client, and we're on your side. So I don't think you have to worry about like, oh my gosh, I said that I like pop music or whatever it might be, because we'll just take everything into consideration
Mhm.
and make sure that it's something that our client's looking for as well.
What about profile pictures? Like, do you have a couple for candidates and a couple for the clients? So there's not just you like doing a bathroom selfie, which don't do.
Yes, yes. So
I would,
that is a good point to bring up. So pictures are everything. And I think it always helps to invest in a good photo, whether you have a great friend that will have a fun little like mock photo shoot with you,
yeah.
or you hire someone. Pictures outside, more like a lifestyle type of photo, is always great. It's great to show your personality and dress up like you're
Mhm.
going out with your girlfriends for dinner. Don't wear that
Yes.
sweatsuit, don't wear your yoga clothes. I mean, unless you're doing like a yoga type of pose or something to show off one of your passions or your, athletic abilities, that's fine too. But definitely take pride in the photos that you send us, and no selfies or anything like that.
I always say that you can't Photoshop personality.
Right. That is true. You
Yeah.
can't. That's
No.
a good point. But yeah, it's just, put forth your best effort to get us some good photos so we can, see who you are, your style, because we want to match you up with the right person.
Yes. So why is professional matchmaking with Selective Search a better alternative than online dating?
I think more than anything, it safeguards your time and your heart, because you don't, I mean, if you're that stellar girl that's out there, you're busy, you're smart, you have your plate full with, all of your passions. So don't waste your time meeting men that aren't serious about dating. Maybe they're just, taking girls to dinner every night. Our clients, they're serious about finding the one. We vet them, we screen them, we do all the work for you. So it's super easy, it's fun. I think you learn about yourself along the way of, really, what am I looking for in a partner? And, the best thing too is that we offer feedback. So after a date, maybe you've left a date and you're like,
Yeah.
did he like me? Did he not like me? Is he going to ghost me? Is he never going to call me again? So I think the most valuable thing that we offer really is the feedback, because you can know so many things about yourself that maybe were coming across a certain way on a date and you just had no idea. So we have sometimes those hard conversations with people to let them,
Yeah.
hey, this is coming across really poorly on a date. And now I've heard it, 2 or 3 times, like, do not check your phone, unless it's an
Right.
emergency, like don't be texting under the table,
So you coach your candidates and your clients along the
Yes,
way as well.
yes. So we offer coaching, we offer style consulting, health and wellness. So we really make sure that you put your best foot forward, and we're your cheerleader along the way, because their success is our success. And, we want to get them happy in love as soon as possible.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Okay, so for stellar girls that are listening right now, we always talk about how we can better support, elevate, and champion each other. And so with social media, I'm sure because it's evolved while you've been at Selective Search. So probably when you started, there was no obviously Instagram, there was Facebook was just probably starting up. There wasn't all of this, everyone's on Instagram, half of its stuff is that your real life? Is that, what's out there? There's LinkedIn, there's TikToks, like
Yeah.
there is like a plethora of like noise, right? So
Yeah. Way
how
too
do
much.
you, yeah, pardon?
I said way too much
I
out there.
know, way too much noise and so much to follow and keep up with. So what would you say how we can better support and champion each other through this whole social media evolving, and how can we better champion and celebrate each other as women?
Well, I would say to champion yourself on social media in that regard, or that aspect, to make sure that you are sort of treating your social media as you would a job. I wouldn't put anything out there that you are not proud of, or that might be a little bit, borderline risky. That, if my future partner looks me up on social media, is he going to see something and read it and be like, oh my gosh, that's not my girl. She
Yeah.
just, swore or said something really negative about another woman, or whatever it might be, because I do find that that is something that is really becoming a problem with dates getting lift off, because sometimes I'll send someone and a client will look them up on social media and they're like, oh my gosh, like, is this really her? And sometimes it could just be, connecting the dots inaccurately because maybe she's trying to portray a certain image. So make sure if you are portraying a certain image that it is a true stellar girl who is positive and happy and, not doing anything that's a little bit questionable.
Correct. That's awesome advice.
That would be my advice because you never know who's looking.
You never know.
A future employer or a future partner or.
I know we always have to, and with our kids these days too. I mean, not just with each other as women, but as kids, and you have to keep them safe. You have to keep yourself safe. So always watch what you put out there for sure. So we talk about how much joy your job brings to you in your life. But what personally brings you happiness and joy and fun? Because I always leave our interview or our conversation with this question because I get so many different answers about, what else brings you joy other than what you do every day. So what brings Ashley some happiness and fun and joy in her life?
I would say my kids, they are amazing. My littlest, she just turned 15 months yesterday. And my other daughter, she'll be 4 at the end of February. So what brings me joy is just making them laugh uncontrollably sometime throughout the day. Like that is my mission, to do something, whether it's tickling them or doing something really silly, just to get a big belly laugh where they just can't stop laughing. And then I'm laughing and like almost crying laughing. So I think
that is
everyone
the best sound in the world. That is the best. Your kids laughing is the best sound in the world. Yeah. Right. And we don't need a perfect mom. We need a happy mom.
Yes. I think as long as you can bring some happiness into your day, then, you've succeeded.
Do you believe, because of the new year, everyone's talking about their resolutions. Like, yes. I don't think that self-care is selfish. You?
No, I think it's necessary. And I think that, if you're happy in your personal life and feel loved and have love, it overflows into your professional life, into your relationships with your friends. So I think it's so important that if you are single, it might be scary to put yourself out there, but you just have to do it because the reward is so much greater than the risk. So if you're single, you have to check out Selective Search because we just, want your new year to start off with a bang and some romance.
And a lot of love found at Selective Search. Well, we so appreciate having you today, and we will make sure we link and tag everything Selective Search and Ashley. And we are just really authentically blessed that we were able to chat with you today and share what you guys do and really explain the differences between your professional, luxury service versus an online dating app that so many people get caught up in. And there really is other things out there. And so we're thrilled to have you. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that bell icon to be notified of new episodes. To learn more about the Stellar Girl movement, please visit us at STELLARGIRL.com.